All right, I'm really excited to bring you a very powerful split step lesson today, and I'm going to pack it full with amazing information that you may or may not have heard before. Now, the split step is one of the most misunderstood parts of tennis, and a lot of players, including yourself possibly, are struggling with figuring out what to focus on when it comes to the split step. So, one time I was at a USPTA regional conference, and the guest speaker asked the question to all of the coaches in the group. There were about 50 coaches in the group, and he asked this question: what are the feet doing when the ball is struck on the other side of the net? Are they in the air? Are you on the way down? Are you on the way up? Are you on the ground? And the big takeaway for me is that most coaches had no idea. And most of you out there might have no idea because no one's really explaining this to you. But to keep it really simple, what I want you to focus on doing is I want you to make sure that your feet are off of the ground when your opponent makes contact. So a lot of people and players, coaches might think that you actually should be on the ground when the ball is struck. But I want you to focus on getting off of the ground, being unweighted, so that when you come down and hit the ground, the ball is actually starting to come towards you, and then you can come down and make a move in either direction: forward, backwards, sideways, diagonal. So let's just keep it really simple and see if we can focus on that. Now, a couple things I want to point out. With the split step, I feel there are two options for you, and you've got to find what works best for you. You can copy Andy Murray, where he really exaggerates a very high jump almost. If you can jump that high, you can go ahead and practice that, but you really want to exaggerate being off the ground. So for the sake of this video, we're going to focus more on that so you can really see me get unweighted and get off of the ground. But some of you out there might feel better if you do a quicker split step when the ball comes, or when the ball is struck on the other side of the net. That also depends on how fast the ball is coming. But I found on returns and other shots where the ball comes faster, you don't have time to have a slower, higher jump. But if you're hitting ground strokes and you have time, you want to practice feeling your feet off of the ground when the ball is struck. Now, the way to do that is to make sure that you probably are going to have to jump or get off the ground sooner than you think. So you're going to have to get off of the ground as the person is about to hit the ball. Most people wait too long, and by the time they split, then they're late to react. We're also going to get in this lesson how to move after the split step, but first I really wanted to focus on you getting that air time when the ball is struck on the other side of the net. So let's go ahead and show you what that's going to look like. Let's get into some progressions that are going to really help you with your split step and your understanding of how to practice it. Now, before we get going with that high split step that I talked about earlier, I want you to realize that if you practice on a ball machine a lot, or if you have someone tossing you balls, you actually don't want to practice that high Andy Murray type style of split step. You actually want to be more flat-footed. So when the ball comes out of the ball machine, you're just going to be flat-footed here, ready to go. As soon as the ball comes out of the ball machine, then you're just going to practice your footwork pattern after the split step. Now, if you feel like you need to do a quick little move like this just to get your body going, that's okay as well. But again, I don't want you to do the high split step because the ball has already come out. By the time you see the ball come out, you'll be too late with your split. So don't try to practice that split step on the ball machine the way that we're about to show you. Next progression, shadow strokes. What I want you to do is you can be pretty light with your feet. You're on the balls of your feet. You can be in this position, kind of moving, staying light, and then you're just going to get off of the ground and work on pushing off after you initiate the split step. So I get off of the ground, and then I push off, okay? I'm focusing, instead of just splitting and stopping, I'm focusing on getting off of the ground and moving to the ball. If I have to move forward, I do my high split step, and then I move forward. All of this is an exaggeration. If you find that you're jumping high and then you're still late getting to the ball, then you might want to try a quicker split step, okay? You just have to make sure you do it soon enough so that you can react to the ball. So now I want to start focusing on hitting the ball. I want you to see what it's going to look like when I focus on jumping at the right time, getting off the ground, pushing off, and moving to the ball. So again, the key right now, before we go to the next stage with your split step, all I want you to do is make sure you're off of the ground when the ball is struck. So I'm going to start hitting the ball. I was a little late on that one, actually. And right before the ball gets to my opponent, I'm getting off of the ground. This is an exaggeration concept. Okay, you'll notice again, I was a little late on that one. There we go. I jumped soon enough on that. I'm going to jump there. Okay, so right before it gets to him, I'm jumping. I'm not waiting until he hits the ball to jump. I'm actually getting off of the ground as the ball is coming into him so that when I come down, the ball's already struck and I can make my move. Let's do it one more time. And it doesn't matter, actually doesn't matter where I am in the court. If I'm over here when he's making contact, I want to make sure that I initiate my split step at the right time. So now I'm going to bring a student in and I'm going to coach him through it as well. All right, we've got Simon out here and he's going to practice his split step, and we're going to do this exaggerated split step drill. We could also almost call it the Andy Murray split step. And what we're working on here is how much air time he can get at the right time. So that means he actually has to jump sooner when he's getting off of the ground. Because if he does his normal split step, he can wait longer. He's not off the ground as much. So I really want him to get off of the ground. That's awesome. Keep getting off of the ground, exaggerating it. For those of you out there that aren't used to doing this, this may take some time to adjust to, and it actually may not work for you. I'll be honest with you, but I want you just to become aware of your split step more by doing this. Now, once Simon has this down, we're going to focus on him going back to his regular split steps. You're not going to see it as pronounced here. He's not going to jump as high, but just pay attention to his feet here. He's going to split, and then he's going to see the ball, and he's going to go. There's just a little bit of a hop step, and that's more of the type of split I was talking about before, where when the ball's coming faster, you don't have to jump as high because you would be late. So it's just a quick touchdown and a go, a touch and go. And so in the next part of this lesson, we're going to go over how you can actually focus on your split and your go. It's not just a split step. And I think that's the mistake a lot of coaches and players make. They focus too much on the split step and not enough on what happens after. So let's get into that right now.